What it is, they're two circular shells filled with either a ganache or a buttercream or a whipped cream filling as well, we've done before. A lot of people think they're going to be heavy, kind of like Oreos or a whoopie pie, but they're not at all. You'll see when you taste the shell, it's almost, I can't describe the texture. You really have to try it to get it, because it's just so fluffy and airy with still like a crispness to it that really sets it apart from, you know, just basic cookies, which a lot of people call them. They're like, oh, like, how are your cookies? Like, they're not cookies. They're macaroons.
I knew nothing about macaroons. I had seen them kind of on Pinterest and stuff, but I hadn't ever experienced one until I was on a plane to Paris, and I was supposed to go there with a friend, and then she backed out last minute, so I was on a flight to Paris by myself. So I bought a bunch of books in the airport about Parisian food, and everyone kept saying that you have to try the difference between Ladurée and Pierre Hermé macaroons, and that's something to make an afternoon out of. So, and they made them sound, they called them the unicorns of desserts, and they just like built them up so much in these books. And I have so many books that, in every book, they just kept talking about macaroons. So I decided that was the first thing I was going to do. Once I got to Paris, I went to the Eiffel Tower, and then I went and bought some macaroons. The way that when I first had that first bite of a macaroon and said, like, holy wow, this is so different than I thought it would be, every time I give them to people to try, that's the reaction that they have. It's not just like, wow, this is a really good brownie. You know, I've had hundreds of brownies in my life. Most people have never had one before. They've never experienced that crazy texture that it has that's so different from anything else. And I think just that surprise that people have and that like mystery that surrounds them is what keeps me going, because they're just so different than anything else.
When I get to create fillings, I usually don't use a basic recipe. I kind of go based on whatever I'm wanting to do, and I get to taste test along the way, and it just makes me feel really cool and accomplished when I've created something that tastes amazing and is better than any recipe I could have found online. When I see someone tell me that they like really loved the macaroons, or their face just like lights up when they try one of the fillings, that just makes me so happy.
And they were so unlike anything I'd ever had. They were kind of the unicorn of desserts. You had no idea, I had no idea looking at it that what happened in my mouth would happen.
My whole point with baking and cooking has always been to make other people happy. Of course, I like to eat too, but really to me, nothing compares to being able to see my friends and family love them so much.
Something about macaroons, they're not overpowering, they're so small, they're so delicate that there's just something really mystifying about them.